Our next guest has sold over 5 million records, giving him 2 double platinum albums and 4 #1 singles. And he's planning his next.
Baby, please don't let me go. Baby, please don't let me go. Then I know that you're somewhere thinking of me. I know I should, but I can't leave it alone. And when you hold me like this, that's when my heart skips a beat. So just follow my lead. Repeat after me. Make this the bullet, hope this the gun, love is on me.
Please welcome Olly Murs. Yes, we couldn't keep them out. They're in.
It's a pleasure to be here.
It's lovely to see you back.
Thank you. I was trying to work out when the last time I came. We couldn't quite figure out.
It's about a year, I think. It must be a year.
About a year or so. But no, it's a pleasure to be back on the show. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. So what's happened? I mean, we have this new single from the album.
Well, I think I took a presenting job. I did that for 2 years on the Xtra Factor. And music-wise, it's gone from strength to strength. A few more #1s, and the music's
and you're
doing well,
supporting Robbie Williams too.
Yeah, I've been. Me and Robbie kept in contact. I mean, I don't know if people remember. I did the X Factor in 2009, and obviously Robbie was on the show with me. He came on and did a performance with me, and we kept in contact when the show finished, and which was. For me, it was like, oh my God, I've got Robbie Williams' number in my phone, which is pretty amazing. And then, yeah, we kept in contact, and, you know, obviously he's going to do a stadium tour this year, and I was his first choice to be his support act, so it's going to be absolutely amazing for me. I'm currently actually on tour at the moment, but it's going to be pretty amazing doing stadium tours.
With him,
yeah, it's going to be amazing.
So, looking back now, it was 2009. What do you wish you'd known then that you know now?
Oh, I don't know.
Have you learned a lot?
I have learned a lot, actually, yeah. I think you learn so much. I mean, you go from literally no one knowing who you are, then all of a sudden, like, bam, you know. It does take a while to get used to it.
But is it grave danger that your feet might be lifted off the ground and your head turned?
No. My mum's always having a go at me if I'm doing something wrong. And my nan and granddad, everyone, and my friends' family, everyone is, you know. I think that's, for me, that's the key, I think, for staying grounded, I think, because... You know, you can quite easily lose yourself in this industry, for sure. But I don't know, I think I've learned loads. I think you know, yeah, I mean, you learn so much. I mean, papers write some really horrible stuff about you, but they can write some really great stuff about you, and you have to be quite strong to take that.
Treating those two imposters just the same,
exactly,
really,
yeah. But I think the hardest thing for me is because I always felt like I've been a nice person. I'm really respectful to everyone. I'm always say hello and nice, and then... Yeah, you might just read a story about someone saying how horrible you are.
It only needs that one day, though, doesn't it? When you get out of bed the wrong side. And
I'd like to think if anyone met me, they'd think I was a nice guy, you know. But that's, you know, there's always people out there that don't like someone, and you know,
that's the way it's going to be. Yeah. Your autobiography came out last year, and you confessed in that you had a slight alcohol problem.
I wouldn't say I had an alcohol problem. I think what it was. I think every artist in this kind of level, fame and stuff, I had 2 jobs starting last year. I had my new album coming out, obviously new singles. I was really excited about that. And then I took, obviously, the Xtra Factor job. So I had these 2 jobs, and I was like, oh... And I've never done TV work before, and obviously it was the first time. You know, it's live TV and presenting in front of an audience. I was like, oh, my God, I've never done this before.
It must be awful.
I was so... I know, but I thought to myself, I'm doing really well on my music, and and for some reason it played on my mind so much that I thought, if this goes wrong, it's going to make all my music suffer, and I'm going to lose pretty much both careers, and it could be over for me. And I think I got all this anxiety, and I started worrying, and I was getting really nervous about it, and I think it just really affected me. So I was turning up to TV shows, and I didn't quite know how to I couldn't find myself, personality. I was just like this. Like thinking and...
You were overworked, basically.
Probably.
So does the alcohol an unwinder? Was that the idea?
No, just you know what it's like. We all like a drink here and there, and I had a couple of glasses of wine or a beer or 2, and I thought, I feel all right now, you know, which is what happens, don't you? You know, I found my confidence again to talk and have a laugh, and obviously a few TV shows that you do, you know, it's late night TV, so then I'll have a couple of drinks, you know, get in the mood for it, and I was like, okay, bosh. And so, I did that for about, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and a couple of different shows, and I don't know, I suppose I was in it's not depression, but I suppose I was just, and it sounds ridiculous because obviously what I do is amazing, of course, great jobs.
But there was obviously a moment where you thought, hey, you obviously had a sort of epiphany of, look what I'm doing. So
yeah, I
was
knew.
It quite sudden that you thought,
no, I mean, that was probably, I just thought, this isn't me, like, I'm always like upbeat and full of life, and I think my team recognised that. We're like, look, Saints, matter what's wrong with you? Why, you know?
But isn't this the danger, Ollie? Is that when you are a big name, you make it suddenly. Everybody wants you to do everything, and then that's when you've got to start being more selective, which must be tougher.
I think what I saw on a TV show recently, I think is you become more of a product than a human being, and that's kind of, I think, sometimes where the line is. You know, obviously I'm a human being. I like to, obviously, I'm not a machine. I can't.
But do you see that in other people, in your contemporaries in the pop business? Do you see them turning into machines? I think we all do.
I mean, it's demand, isn't it? I think if you want to be successful, I mean, if you want to be successful, you have to be, you have to work hard. I mean, nothing's going to be given to you on a plate. I mean, to get to this point, I've worked so hard, and I wouldn't change that for the world. I mean, I've worked ever since I was 12 years old. I remember when I first got my paper round, so I remember doing that, and even now, to this day, I couldn't think a day without working. I love it.
Time for a relationship?
Sort of, dating here and there, but... Yeah, but
more there than here.
But it's always for career for me. I just want to be as successful as I can be.
You are young enough to do the other later.
Oh, indeed I am. I hope.
We'll be performing his new single later, said Uncle Alan, in the show. Well, now, my thanks to Olly Murs.
Thank you very much.